man, Bitcoin and the crypto markets are completely unstoppable right now. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly the new news. We just got a breaking jobs figure, which could further fuel this Bitcoin move. What are the latest price targets and a lot more? We're going to go through those. Smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe, guys. Check out our Telegram community. Some amazing trades are going on. Our community members are absolutely smashing it, and you're missing out on all that extra alpha. Ijaz.uk/TG. Check that out. Link is in the description. Now, as you can see, Bitcoin here, 5 powerful green candles in a row. Yesterday was another 5% up after the day before, another 5% up, and 10% in just 2 days. Now today, fighting to be green. But where is the price target? I mean, we've seen here Bitcoin has just been completely unstoppable. Altcoins, of course, having a little bit of a stall, right? This is very normal. I've covered it off in my last 2 videos. If you're worried about your altcoins, go get caught up on my video, particularly from yesterday and the day before, because I break down the exact flow of money. But today, we need to be talking about this very important chart. If this chart cannot behave itself, this Bitcoin rally could be cut short. But I've got reason to believe that this chart will behave itself. I'm going to break down what I think is going on. But before I do that, we need to cover off the breaking news, which is hot off the press, the ADP private jobs figure. Now, why am I talking about the boring jobs figure? Well, guys, you have to understand, a lot of people are confusing this rally for a Bitcoin spot ETF rally. I personally think the Bitcoin spot ETF was priced in a few weeks, if not a month or so ago. This current rally we're seeing over the last few days, which is tied in with the rally we're seeing in the traditional stock market as well, is to do with global liquidity. I've covered this off again in the last few videos. This is to do with people expecting another pause with the Fed and potentially next year going into a cycle of cutting rates, right? This prognosis that we could be cutting rates gets the market really excited for 2024, and that is why we're starting to see people take their money out of bonds, take their money out of cash, and start putting it into work. They want it to go to work next year because they're expecting the Fed and other central banks globally to be our friends. And it all starts off on December the 13th. Not long from now, we will be covering it off together live. Make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. We will cover the FOMC meeting live together. Markets are expecting a pause, and 1.7% of the market are cheekily expecting a rate cut. I'm not expecting that. If we do, this market will go even more berserk than it currently is. So jumping back into the jobs figure, it came in again lower than expected. This is really good, guys. Yesterday we covered off the JOLTS figure, the jobs openings. They came in lower than expected as well. Now the number of ADP jobs figures lower than expected as well. This could finally give us permission to start to see that rate pause again and maybe start planning for that cut at some point next year, which is what's helping the market stay really positive. Fear and greed index, we're in greed, right? There is no denying the fact that this market is really greedy right now. People are talking about crypto everywhere. I mean, you can jump onto CNBC, they're talking about crypto. You can go look at YouTube channels where all year they were talking about foreign exchange and stocks. Suddenly they want to be talking about crypto again. You talk to your Uber driver, oh, it's now the time to get into crypto. You're talking to your barber, they're talking about crypto. Now is the time when greed is at peak greed. So certainly I will not be chasing green candles right now. That doesn't mean I wouldn't be DCAing. You can have a careful plan to DCA, but this is not a chart that I look at and go, oh, I want to drop 100 grand into that right now. No, I'm sitting on the sidelines. If we get pullbacks, which at some point will come, whenever Bitcoin acts like this, you feel like there's never going to be a pullback. But if you're patient and you're in the market for many months, you know you will get opportunities, right? Right now, Bitcoin is doing its thing, and you cannot interrupt it when it's doing its thing. And that means the same for shorts. There are people who think they're so clever. Oh, look, I'm going to short Bitcoin right now. Well, how's that going for you, right? How's that going for let's look at this candle here. $138 million wrecked of short. Look at this candlestick here. Another 138 million of shorts wrecked the day after. You're just asking to be wrecked. We know when Bitcoin wants to move, it will tear faces off. So if you didn't get in at a good entry, stay out of the way. You certainly don't want to be shorting it from these levels when it's in this kind of a mood. When it's in this kind of mood, it just breaks structures. It just consolidates and breaks, and it just keeps going, right? And so if you're not in the market, wait for those pullbacks, look for those entries. Now, what do we expect from this? Well, you can see this breakout here. Let's show you this chart here. So when you can see this breaking out, I'm just going to switch down to the 4 hourly. Look at Bitcoin here. It broke from the ascending broadening channel. It came back and retested the 41.7 line, and it went again. It broke through, came back and retested, and already we're getting a bounce. So you can see the pattern, right? It breaks, retests, moves, it's broke, it's retest. It just wants to go straight to the next target, guys. It does not have the patience right now. It wants to go straight towards that 45k level. Now, incidentally, that 45k level is a very important level. If I switch to the weekly chart here, I'll show you this. This was that big cup and handle pattern we were monitoring, right, on the weekly chart. Now, if you switch over to the monthly chart, you can see this cup and handle pattern played out exactly as we were predicted when it started to form in the mid of December, right, 2022. So this cup and handle pattern met its price target perfectly, right, all the way to my measured move, which I shared with you guys at the time if you're following my videos, all the way back up into this 44,000 region. But look at this red line. This red line is monthly candle resistance. See where these candlesticks closed here? This is monthly candle resistance here on Bitcoin. So expect 45.5 to be the next target that Bitcoin wants to get to and will be the next major challenge here for Bitcoin. Remember, I had no qualms about this. We fell so powerfully to the downside, which is why I expected us to feel to the upside. But after this point, things get a little bit more difficult. Expect some difficulty here. Maybe we need to come down, bounce around for a bit before we can get our next move to the upside. Now, of course, in January, we get our ETF deadline as well. So that should be a wind in our sails. In April, we're expecting the Bitcoin halving. So we've got many positive catalysts now starting to create this nice funnel towards what could be an explosive bull market. There are not many bricks on our worry wall right now, right? If you're thinking about this worry wall, now, if we was talking last year, what would be on this worry wall? We'd be like, oh, we got the Russia-Ukraine war. Oh, we got inflation. Oh, we got Sam Bankman-Fried. Oh, we got central banks all tightening monetary policy. And now you look at your wall and you're like, hang on. What worries do we have in our way? Inflation is subsiding. People are expecting a soft landing in the US now. At some point, we're going to get a rate cut. The Sam Bankman-Fried thing is dealt with. CZ from Binance resigned and kind of dropped down from being CEO. We've got a new CEO at Binance. Market doesn't care. Bitcoin spot ETF is getting closer and closer. We've got futures ETFs, right? This worry wall really is starting to dissipate. We're setting up ourselves for a perfect recipe for a nice, powerful bull run. And that is why I'm so happy that I'm allocated in the market. I would hate to be sitting here, not in this market. Now, if I wasn't in the market, I would frantically be looking for a way to get in. Now, what do I mean by a way to get in? Guys, you guys already know. Not chasing green candles, but certainly looking for areas of support, right? Now, are you likely right now to come down into your weekly EMA ribbon? Tough, right? 32.9. It's very tough for me to see this market pulling back down right into this EMA ribbon right now. Now, eventually it may well do, but right now this market just does not feel like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 months here powerfully to the upside now in a row for Bitcoin. So if you're not going to get a weekly pullback, what about a daily candle pullback? And this is certainly where I'll be looking for Bitcoin to pull back, right? At some point, it makes a lot of sensible sense for Bitcoin to run into its EMA ribbon again. And when it looks to come into its EMA ribbon, that's personally where I'll be looking to DCA. I don't need to be DCAing extended fully up here. I want to at least wait for some sideways movement. The EMA ribbon will run into it, and I'll be DCAing when the two collide. That's personally how I like to do it. I like to buy from positions of strength. I much rather be buying in here and in here versus up here. And if I can get into a habit of doing that, even when prices are high, I'll do okay. So it's really important to understand that this is not a case of, oh, I bought at 15,500, therefore I'm not going to buy expensive Bitcoin. I will buy expensive Bitcoin because the reality is this is all a game for me of accumulating Bitcoin. If I can keep accumulating Bitcoin, at one point when Bitcoin's over $100,000 going towards $150,000 and $200,000, all of these price points are going to seem cheap. 30, 40, 50, even the all-time high. I know it sounds silly. The all-time high at 69,000 will appear cheap when Bitcoin blows through that and creates a new cycle all-time high. So there's a lot of people who make the mistake of they just buy in the bear market and they look to sell in the bull. I will be strategically DCAing through bull. I'm okay buying more expensive Bitcoin. Now, that doesn't come easily. That takes a lot of strength of psychology and it takes a power of mind, right? When you've been in the market and you had the opportunity to go and buy more Bitcoin at 15,500, at 17,000, at 18,000, and now you're taking out your wallet to buy a piece of Bitcoin or a Bitcoin at $44,000. It hurts. But the reality is you need to ask yourself, what's the bigger picture? Do you believe in this asset class over many, many cycles and many years? Is this something you want to be adding to? And ultimately, where do you think Bitcoin's going to go? If a spot ETF gets approved, if more institutions come in, are we going to eclipse the all-time high of 69,000? That's what you guys have to ask yourself. And if your answer is yes, which mine is, I think we're going to eclipse all-time highs in this cycle of 69,000. Then you're going to sit here and go, okay, then am I not just going to think that 44 is cheap compared to 69, right? Do I not think 44 is cheap compared to $100,000 Bitcoin, right? I really do think in a couple of years' time, maybe even sooner than that, we'll be looking back and saying, you know what? If you bought Bitcoin in 5 figures versus 6 figures, which is 100,000 plus, you did a good job, right? And that time will start to come. So, look, one more thing I do want to share with you is this. SocGen, one of the major European banks, has filed for, the Euro stablecoin, EURCV is the ticker symbol, has already, not just filed, has already started trading on Bitstamp. So this means it's the first time a Euro stablecoin issued by a fully regulated bank is available on a crypto exchange. This is a game changer, right? This is a really big deal that regulated banks like SocGen, right, are looking to enter the crypto market and back Euro stablecoins, creating more on-ramps for people. And again, just a reminder, institutions are coming. Institutions are coming, and this is going to lead to a different type of pump in the crypto markets. Institutions are throwing really big levels of money around. It's not just retail traders like you and I. This is the really big, sophisticated money. And that comes with its pros and cons. But one thing is for sure, it's going to be an explosive next few months here for crypto. Let me know, guys, how are you playing this market? Are you actively DCAing? Are you buying altcoins? Are you buying Bitcoin? Are you just sitting out and just seeing where this goes for now? I'm actively trading the markets as well, guys. So make sure you join me, ijazcrypto.com/TG. Link will be in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.